Welcome to the GBU. Alright boys, if you've been living under a rock, GBU is a league hosted by myself, OGalbina, and Obo. You can check the draft stream for this in the top right hand corner, or maybe not because it probably just ended. To get you up to speed, we're doing low tier Terra, 12 points and below, 2 Terra types, and your Terra captains equal up to 12 points total. We have a lot of really cool coaches, so I really encourage you to check them all out down in the description below. We want to spread that community love, man, and let's grow this game that we love. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe. We're at 1984 subs at the time of me recording this, and less than 50% of my viewers subscribe. If you subscribed right now, we get one step closer to 2,000 subscribers, which is a ridiculous number. I'm going to level with you guys. I wanted Monkey Dory. Round one, no matter what, it didn't matter what pick I had, I was going for Monkey Dory. Unfortunately, we got the 11th pick, and Monkey Dory got stolen from us, ripped out of the clutches of our hands by Antonio and the Sacramento Nidokings. So today I start this off. To no surprise, the thumbnail Pokemon Great Tusk is going to be our round one pick. We had the 11th overall pick, by the way. I think I forgot to say that. Great Tusk is a Pokemon that I've been itching to try for a while now. It offers so many things to a team. It's teetering in and out of my top 10. It's pretty close to number 10 overall, in my opinion, in this deck. So I think picking it with the 11th slot makes a whole lot of sense. There were 3 Pokemon I wanted in this slot. It was either Palafin, Garchomp, or Great Tusk, and Palafin and Garchomp went the 2 picks before me, so my decision was made quite simple. Great Tusk obviously has so much utility. It's the greatest rapid spinner in Pokemon ever, period, which is a big change of pace having a good remover, since we just came off the back of 2 finals appearances with remover Bramblegast and Colossal respectively. We got Knockoff, we got Headlong Rush, Rapid Spin Speed Boost, Bulk Up. This boy can be physically defensive, he can be physically offensive, he can be our rocker. He offers so much utility, and I'm really excited to build a good team around him. I'm very excited to show you guys this awesome team that we ended up building around Great Tusk. Round 2, a Pokemon came back to me that I did not expect to be there. It's going to be Clefable. We're going to get the best fairy type in the format that's not named Iron Valley on our squad. There's been some Clefable slander, but I want you guys to remember the only thing Clefable lost was Soft Boiled. We still have Wish, we do have Moonlight with 8 PP. Other than that, we are still chilling. We got Cosmic Power, we got Calm Mind, we got Moonlight, we're still a rocker, we have Knockoff, Thunder Wave, and that's not even to mention things like Flamethrower and all the coverage moves that this Pokemon gets. Clefable is a menace. Yes, its stats suck, but this Pokemon is a Pokemon that for some reason is being overlooked at the start of this generation. It is by far, bar none, the best defensive fairy in a format where there really aren't that many defensive fairies. And I thought that was going to be crucial to pair with Great Tusk, because offensively, these two complement each other pretty well. Great Tusk breaks the steals for Clefable. We can use Clefable a little bit more offensively, and Clefable is also a Pokemon paired next to Great Tusk that makes Great Tusk not forced to be defensive. So I like the 2 pairing a lot. It might be a little bit underwhelming when you look at these 2 Pokemon together, but then you look at our 3rd Pokemon and you're like, wow, John, that is a great start to a team. We got Heatran, we are playing Oras, and this is going to be a trend that continues. We got Mega Donphan, we got Clefable, and now we got Heatran. We're playing Gen 6 OU if Donphan got a Mega. Heatran pairs really well. It gives us a 3rd rocker because every Pokemon on this team is required to have rocks. It's a requirement at this point, but it gives us a good fairy resist. There still aren't very many good steel types in this deck, so getting one early was something that I really wanted to prioritize next to Great Tusk. It's another defensive piece that also enables Great Tusk to be more offensive, which was kind of the whole thing that I wanted to do with this draft. I didn't want Great Tusk to be forced to be offensive every week or defensive every week. I wanted it to kind of be able to go between either one, because I think those are the best Great Tusk teams. Heatran is sick. He breaks steals for the Clefable. He's weak to ground, but we'll patch that up here in a second. And he's one of the best fairy resists on the board. The only thing that we do have a bad matchup into is going to be Enamorus and Iron Valiant at this point, but we'll be able to patch those up pretty easily as time goes on. Our next Pokemon is one that I did not expect to be there round 4. I actually can't even remember what Pokemon I was going to take round 4, but I ended up getting Rotom-Wash because it was still there round 4, and the synergy with Rotom-Wash with Heatran is just too good to pass up. These 2 Pokemon complement each other beautifully. Rotom gives me a Levitate Pokemon on a team that has a lot of weakness to ground, and on top of that, we also have a good Volt Switcher. Now, we are literally just playing Oras. I wish Rotom still got default, because I think this top 4 would, without a doubt, be the best top 4 out of the first 4 rounds, but Star, he's giving us a run for our money. I actually think he's my most drafted Pokemon of all time. I'm no stranger to Rotom-Wash. In my opinion, this is the best lead Pokemon in the game. I think there's no matchup you can go wrong leading Rotom-Wash. You Volt Switch out, you Hydro Pump. The only issue, we did lose Pain Split and we did lose Defog, so I've been thinking about it, and I do think 14 points for Rotom-Wash is a little bit of an overpay this generation, but it's okay. Just the value that we get for it on this team next to the certain Pokemon that we have, I think is absolutely worth it. Next up, I told you guys we were going to do low tier Terra this season, and I'm happy to say that we got what I think is the best Terra Pokemon on the board in round 5. There were some really broken ones that we allowed because, first of all, we allowed Okidogi. I thought that would be really cool for content. It's probably a 13-point Pokemon, but we allowed it anyway. And then there's some mons like Gyarados and Lucario that are pretty good, but I think this Pokemon rises above all else and is the #1 Terra Pokemon, and that's going to be Iron Jugulis. I think this Pokemon was so much fun when I used it in WPF. It offers a lot to our team outside of Terra. It gives us a Dark type already, which is awesome. It gives us a Flyer paired next to Heatran, which is fantastic. It gives us another Pokemon with momentum. It gives us a fast Taunter and a really good speed tier. And we're going to Terra this bad boy. This bad boy with the combination of booster energy, being able to boost special attack or speed, as well as just be choice Scarf, choice Specs, heavy duty boots. We can be defensive. This Pokemon with Terra is ridiculous, and I have a rule with Terra. Whenever you can only choose 2 types, I've come to find that I really like this philosophy, which is I like to choose one type that enables you offensively, makes you as strong as you possibly can be, which is usually going to be some sort of a stab. And then the second type, I like a type that enables you defensively. It allows you to either set up or take hits and kill something in return. For the offensive type, I chose Flying. It's one of the most unresisted types in the game. It's pretty easy to spam, and I think that it's probably the best type on this Pokemon. For the second type, I chose Poison. I think Poison is fantastic and complements this Pokemon's weaknesses very well. Instead of being immune to Ground and Psychic, we're now weak to it, so you have to carry a lot of coverage moves in order to hit this Pokemon with Psychic, and I really like that. On top of that, it gives us Poison coverage, but that's not really the important part here. Jugu's awesome. I'm so excited to use him again. I had so much fun with it in WPF, and in this build, we are able to use it more defensively as opposed to WPF, where we used it extremely defensively. Did I say we can use it defensive? We can use it offensively now. He's gonna click buttons. Next up, I picked arguably one of the best Terra captains in the league as well, but we can't Terra him. Unfortunately, it's gonna be Snorlax. I picked Snorlax because he helps us with a couple of different weaknesses. It gives us a special wall, which I think is really good. It helps alleviate pressure off of Clefable and Heatran. It gives us another fire resist, and it helps with very specific matchups for high tier special attackers like Chi-Yu and Iron Bundle. We didn't match up super well against those Pokemon, so having Snorlax here makes me feel a lot more comfortable. On top of that, there weren't a lot of normal types that I was super interested in trying, and Snorlax was still there around 6. He wasn't in the initial plan, but because he was there, I was like, I don't really want to lose to Spectrier. I don't want to lose to Chi-Yu, so we're going to take Snorlax, and we're going to use him, and we're going to have fun with him. Next up, shout out to Joey Pokeaim. This Pokemon got knockoff back, and it's going to be Weavile. Weavile was a Pokemon that I used to great success before in BPR. I think it was still a good Pokemon. It is still a good Pokemon. The addition of knockoff and the slept on Icicle Spear make this Pokemon a lot better. We paid top dollar for Weavile, but I think it's well worth it. Weavile is actually one of my favorite Pokemon to use in Draft League. I would probably go out on a limb and say top 15 favorite Pokemon to use in Draft League. It's like Chien-Pao, but baby, like a small Chien-Pao. And I like Chien-Pao, so I like Weavile. The addition of knockoff plus things like Poison Jab and Low Kick make Weavile impossible to switch into, and just the addition of knockoff takes Weavile from like a 10-11 point Pokemon to like a 13-14, maybe even 15 point Pokemon. Knockoff is that crucial on a Pokemon whose dark stat was Night Slash. I promise you guys, Weavile, in my opinion, is probably going to be our kill leader this season. I'm gonna be honest, our top 7 picks filled pretty much every role. We had breakers, we had defensive pieces, we enabled Great Tusk to be offensive or defensive. We were just lacking a couple of things. The first of which was a water resist, whether another water type or a grass type. We had Rotom-Wash, which was cool, but I wanted a secondary one just in case. The second one was going to be a base 100 speed tier. The jump from Jugu to Great Tusk allows things like Delphox and other 100 to 105 Pokemon run modest or adamant, which is something that I wanted to cover up. The third was a poison type. We had Heatran, and that was it as far as a fairy resist. And the last one was another form of removal, because up to this point, I think I did a pretty good job making Great Tusk be able to run offensive or defensive, but he's probably going to have to run Rapid Spin most weeks unless I run a heavy duty boost team, and I didn't want that. I wanted another Pokemon to kind of alleviate pressure. So we're going to fill all 3 of those roles with our last 3 picks. I'm going to be honest, it's a tight fit. We had 20 points left, and there were not there were not very many Pokemon to fill these holes. The first of which is a Pokemon that I think we probably underpriced just a little bit, but I'm also a big fan of this Pokemon. We took Weezing, who was only 5 points. I like Weezing a lot. It's a good fairy resistant. It actually beats Enamorus most of the time in a one-on-one situation. So I like him. He's a cool guy, he's never done me wrong. It adds a Levitate user or Grounding Poison, as well as T-Spikes, and we also get Taunt. I like Weezing a lot, it adds a lot to this team, and Weezing was always on the plan. I was pretty confident I was always going to get Weezing. The next two Pokemon changed a lot. I was actually very set on getting Haxorus to get another physical breaker and a base 100 speed tier, and then Swanna as a defogger and a secondary water type. And I actually liked it a lot. I did some tests and I looked at Swanna's stats and I was like, this is not as unusable as it looks on the surface. I'm very excited for this. And then Delray of the D-double? Delray of the Edmonton Coilers decided to take my Haxorus from me, so we had to switch up. I'll be honest, I'm a sucker for views right now, and I'm a complete sellout. So with this pick, we took Sinistra? We took the Teabag. His name is Teabag, 2 G's, double G, and it's gonna be capitalized because good game, Teabag is broken. He's a water resist and a special breaker. He's cool, and I like him. And we picked him because he's gonna get us some views. Our last pick was tough. It was tough. We had to fill 2 things with this pick. We had to fill a remover, and we had to fill around a base 100 speed tier. And that was very difficult to even come up with a Pokemon that did both of those things. Have you guys seen the list for Pokemon that get Defog or Rapid Spin in this generation? It's not very long. I settled on Cryogonal, but then Amo decided that he wanted Cryogonal too. So we didn't get Cryogonal. Instead, we got Oricorio, the answer to all of our problems. I mean, Oricorio is pretty cool. Like, it's a good low tier pick. It can't Terra, by the way. It adds some cool utility. It gives us technically 4 Pokemon in one, which is pretty cool. It gives us Defog in around a base 100 speed tier, so those base 100s can't run Adamant or Modest anymore. Or base 102s or whatever it was. I don't remember. It was like 101 or 102 that could run. It was like Garchomp. Garchomp could run Adamant against us for sure. But with Oricorio, it has a little bit more trouble doing that. Oricorio, is it going to get respected? Probably not. Am I going to bring it to any games? Maybe not. But he's going to be a cheerleader, and that's going to be the team. I'm going to be honest. The first 7 Pokemon on our team pretty much are going to come every single game. Those first 7 guys are really awesome. And I like Weezing a lot. And I like Sinashtishia and Oricorio, but a lot of our good Pokemon were picked in the first 7 rounds, and I can assure you, assuredly, that Iron Jugulis is going to come to every single game. It does not matter what our matchup is. I'm probably going to be a little bit more lenient with things like Great Tusk and Clefable not coming to every single game if they have a bad matchup, because last season I know in WPF and BBR I forced Annihilate and Hoopa Unbound and Zamazinta to every single game. I'm not going to do that this season with my top tier. I am just doing that with Iron Jugulis because I genuinely think it's probably the best Pokemon with Terra, and it's probably the best Pokemon on my team with Terra. But other than that, we're actually going to play Pokemon, and I've got some good news for you guys. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. EST, me and Obo are going to do a power ranking stream on what teams we think are going to be the best and just have a fun time with you guys. And then at 12 that day, we are going to have a mock battle, a little test battle. We unfortunately do not play Starfish, one of my best friends, in the regular season, so we decided to do a little exhibition match week 0 for you guys. That way you guys get a little bit of early access to the content. And I'm going to be honest, we are both very rusty. It's very... It shows, but I'm very glad we did it because now I'm locked in and ready to go for the remaining games this season. If you guys enjoyed this draft analysis, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and be sure to stick around for this GBU season and let me know who you guys think is going to be my kill leader down in the comments below. I know you're thinking about clicking off the video right now. Stop. Don't do it. Let me know. Just leave a comment, man. It takes 2 seconds and it's really important because it helps push my video out. And if you want to see me succeed, please do it, man. I want to see you succeed. Return the favor. I think Weavile is going to be our kill leader, and I think honestly he's going to get top 3 in kills. I think Weavile is going to be in the 15 to 20 kill range. It's an 8-week season. I think that's pretty justifiable. 2 kills a game sounds pretty accurate for what I think Weavile is going to do for us this season. If not him, then maybe Jugu. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. You guys better be there. I'm putting on a show. I'm having a good time, man. I've been enjoying content recently, and I hope you guys have been able to tell. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, you subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.